Dude,
Gunfighter.
My kids are sleeping, man. Knock that shit off.
Let's talk about it.
What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
I gotta keep that. I wasn't planning on dropping an S-bomb, but I gotta keep that. Oh, there, YouTube. We're back again today for another Thoughts from the Corner. I'm here with my good friend Adam.
Yep.
And we're going to be talking about Gunfighter from Everything Epic Games. This is for 2 to 3 players. Take about 10 minutes to play it. It's for ages 14 plus. And in Gunfighter, this is a real quick dueling game where you're going to start off the game. You're going to have 7 cards pretty much. And then on your turn, you're both going to simultaneously lay down a card. And then whoever does their card first, based on some various different things, is going to trigger it. And those are going to allow you to improve your accuracy, improve the number of bullets you have, and try and shoot your opponent. But there's a lot more going on than that, especially when you add the expansion that comes inside the box, because that expansion adds slightly asymmetrical rolls, and there's a whole bunch of those. Slightly asymmetrical locations, and you're only going to be using one of those at a time. I think there's like 15, 20 of them. There's a good deal of them. And then just some extra added bonus cards. And as you noted, there's a lot of different and unique cards in this game. But very easy to learn, very easy to teach. There was a 10-minute video. We pretty much knew everything except from one minor rule, which we just missed. But the rules themselves are quick, and we went back to them, and it was easy to figure out the rules. It's a short, concise rule booklet. If you want to see exactly how this game is played, I'm sure somebody shot a gameplay video. But this is more on the review side. And the first thing I do want to mention before we get into the review, we have not gotten the opportunity to play it 3-player. This is after playing it 2 players, both the base game and then with the expansion. So, let's get into the review. You want to start?
Yeah, the really interesting thing about this game is that you don't see much. When you use a card, you take it back unless it directly says to discard it. And typically when you're discarding a card, you get a new card. But I felt that was really interesting because then you kind of get to know your deck and you're like, oh, I know that I've got some crap in there. I could really change that out. And everybody has like, what is it, a gunslinger card or whatever?
Oh, yeah, you have your own asymmetrical character who's going to start with specific cards when you're playing that version. I think most people are just going to play with that version once you know what you're doing.
Yep, for sure. And that also is the one that adds the places where you're playing. Mm-hmm. So, like, we had a place where the first person to lay the card down goes first.
That made it really interesting.
Normally, it's whoever has the most bullets goes first. That did, because then you had to be quick, and you're trying to read all these cards really quickly and try and decide which one. But I know this turn I can't use. I can't gain accuracy, but I think he's going to shoot me, so I need to dodge something. There's a lot going on in it, but it's super simple and easy to play.
Yeah, one thing I really liked about this game is it does not outstay its welcome by any shape or form. You have 2 life. You have 2 life, and it's like...
And when you lose the first one, you're like, all right, I got to dodge, I got to dodge, I got to dodge.
Dodging
but at some point, you've got to shoot.
Yeah.
And you just hope that the other person isn't shooting at the same time.
So one thing I do want to knock the game a little bit on is I wish there was just a little bit more of an eloquent system to keep track of your bullets, your accuracy, and your health. And actually, in the how to play video, this card was smaller, and I honestly kind of wish it was still a little bit smaller, because when you put the clips on, they don't go all the way to the numbers, whereas in the, And that being said, it's going to do the thing where it's just scraping the card.
But here's the thing. They
time.
included these little bullets, and those fit perfectly over.
That is not written in the rules anywhere. You're speculating.
What else would you be using them
speculating.
For? These have no other purpose
you
in the game.
load them into the gun.
Except that you could put them over top of the things that you need, where you need them. And they fit perfectly, and it's
What
good
about when
system.
that happens?
It's good. Well, these don't stay on there very well either.
That's why I'm saying I wish there was just a slightly more eloquent way to do that. But I understand that part of the reason
this
probably
isn't a game where you're like bowling one another over.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. One thing I do want to give this game a shout out for, and I think we both like this game, correct?
Yeah.
So I want to start with that. Is I feel like there's a decent amount of replayability in this. I want to go through, I want to try different characters, I want to try different locations, I want to see what different cards they have, which is great. I forgot what I was going to say there. Totally forgot.
Yeah, it's never going to be the same game.
Never gonna be the same game. Oh, the amount of box space. Like, this box is just crammed.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, sometimes you open a box.
And the expansion fits in there.
It does. Everything fits in there. These dice are really nice. These pop-outs are really nice. And I felt like the rule booklet was solid. I mean, when we had to go to it, no issues. The expansion rule booklet's good. And
it's only, what, 4 pages or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically read what's on the card and do it then.
Yeah. I really like this game.
I didn't too.
I believe I will be keeping this game, partially because it's so small, but partially because I love having games where there's a lot of box in the game. And
well, also a good 2-player.
Yes, it was. It was fun too, but I'm excited to play it 3. Like, hopefully, I'm hoping to get it tomorrow night to Brandon's house to try it 3 players, because that just pretty much makes it so that you have to specifically aim your gun at which person you want to do. It seems like a pretty simple addition to the game.
Was this a Kickstarter?
I believe it was. Yeah, I think it was
That
Kickstarter.
explains the larger cards.
And it also explains these really nice dice that just feel a little bit out of place, but dang it, they're nice. So, final grade on this one. I know, obviously, we only got a chance to play it at 2 players. We have only seen half of the glory of this game. But after a 2-player impression on it.
Yeah, I'd say 7 on it. Which is pretty good.
Good.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd say 7's good. I'd say 7.5 is pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's how I do my rank. 7 good, 8
7
great.
to 7.5.
All right.
So we'll give a range there.
All right. But with the potential to bump up even higher, but we're solid 3 players.
Sure.
Okay. I'm more... I'm a 7.3. I'm a 7.3, but I think the more I explore it, the more I could like it. I want to see more of these cards. I want to play with some more of the different characters, especially a lot of the expansion cards we didn't get to. And it looked like the expansion cards are really where they kind of just said, all right, we're going to do some different things. We're going to do some interesting things, as most expansions are. So you know what? I'm going to go with a 7.4, but with the potential to bump up into the 7.9, 8 range, potentially. Do I think it's great?
Yeah.
Do you think there's an opportunity where this could be great? That's the question.
I think with it only being 2 to 3 players, like 4 is the golden, So that brings it down a little bit. But
10 minutes.
2-player game.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
This is a solid 10-minute game.
And it's good on it. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going up higher. I think I'm going a little bit higher when I think about that. I'm going to go with the 7.6 for now, with the potential to go to an 8 if I really enjoy the 3-player version game of it. I think this would be the kind of thing you take out on a date night if you're lucky enough to be dating with your spouse, or the kind of thing you could play at a bar, because it doesn't take up too much table space either.
No, not at all. Oh yeah, and he included a if you don't want to use the dice, each card has a dice face on it, so that you can just draw a card to know what you rolled.
Yeah, it's a little nifty thing.
Yeah, I thought that was it was thoughtful. It was thoughtful.
It was.
It was like a little gift from him.
It's an Ameritrash style game though, which means dice. Who's doing that?
I mean, yeah.
Would you
he's got
ever
these
do it?
nice special dice. No, probably not. No. But I do feel like it was generous.
It was. But that is Gunfighter from Everything Epic Game. One that both of us did enjoy. I'm excited to try it out. 3 players. If it looks like it might be your cup of tea, be sure to check this one out. If you're enjoying this Gen Con coverage, well then what the hell are you watching? Because this isn't Gen Con coverage. As always, thanks for your time, YouTube.